Welcome to Beyond the Horizon, where the unknown meets the unexplained. Today, we venture into the chilling tale of Anneliese Michel, a young woman whose life was consumed by darkness and despair. In 1976, Anneliese's struggles with epilepsy and depression took a sinister turn, as she became convinced she was possessed by demonic forces. Desperate for salvation, her family turned to two Catholic priests, who performed a series of exorcisms that would ultimately lead to her tragic demise. Join us as we delve into the shocking true story of Anneliese Michel, a cautionary tale of blind faith, medical neglect, and the horrors that lurk beyond the horizon. Anneliese Michel was a German Catholic woman who underwent a series of exorcisms in 1976, which ultimately led to her death. The case was highly publicized and has been the subject of numerous books, films, and documentaries, including the movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Anneliese's exorcism was performed by two Catholic priests, who believed she was possessed by demons. Two Catholic priests, Father Arnold Renz and Father Ernest Alt, performed a series of exorcisms on Anneliese over several weeks, without medical supervision. The exorcisms were conducted in secret, and Anneliese was denied medical treatment for her epilepsy and other health conditions. The exorcisms involved prayers, blessings, and rituals, but also physical restraint and denial of food and water. Anneliese's condition deteriorated rapidly during the exorcisms, and she eventually died from starvation and dehydration on July 1, 1976. The case led to widespread outrage and calls for reform within the Catholic Church. The priests involved were later charged with negligent homicide, and the incident has been seen as a cautionary tale about the dangers of blind faith and the importance of seeking medical help when needed. The question of whether Anneliese Michel was truly possessed by demons or not is a matter of debate and interpretation. The Catholic Church ultimately authorized the exorcisms, and the priests involved believed they were helping Anneliese overcome demonic possession. However, many experts and critics have argued that Anneliese's symptoms were more likely the result of epilepsy. Her seizures and neurological symptoms were likely related to her epilepsy. Psychiatric conditions. Her depression, anxiety, and hallucinations may have been related to underlying psychiatric conditions. Trauma. Anneliese had experienced trauma in her past, which may have contributed to her mental health struggles. Anneliese Michel's life was marked by several paranormal events and experiences that were attributed to demonic possession. Some of the reported events include unusual noises and movements. Anneliese would often hear strange noises, like knocking sounds, and experience unexplained movements, like furniture shifting on its own. Visions and hallucinations. She reported seeing demonic faces and experiencing terrifying hallucinations. Uncontrollable behaviors. Anneliese would exhibit bizarre behaviors, like screaming, laughing, or crying uncontrollably. Levitation. Witnesses claimed that Anneliese would levitate above her bed or chair. Strange voices. She would speak in a deep, guttural voice, which was attributed to the demon's presence. Self-mutilation. Anneliese would injure herself, like scratching her face or arms, which was seen as a sign of demonic influence. Supernatural strength. She would display extraordinary strength, like breaking metal chains or bending iron bars. According to reports, Anneliese Michel's last words were, "Besessen bin ich nicht," which translates to, "I am not possessed." She reportedly repeated this phrase several times, almost like a desperate plea, in the hours leading up to her death. This phrase has been interpreted by some as a cry for help, a denial of the possession claims, or even a declaration of her own sanity. It's worth noting, however, that the accuracy of these reports has been questioned by some experts, and the exact circumstances of her final hours are still a matter of debate. After the trial, Father Arnold Renz and Father Ernest Alt faced consequences for their roles in Anneliese Michel's death. Father Arnold Renz was convicted of negligent homicide and received a 6-month suspended sentence. Father Ernest Alt received a 3-month suspended sentence for the same charge. Both priests were also removed from their pastoral duties and faced disciplinary action from the Catholic Church. As for Anneliese's parents, Anna and Joseph Michel. Anna Michel was convicted of negligent homicide and received a 1-year suspended sentence. Joseph Michel received a 6-month suspended sentence for the same charge. The trial and its outcome sparked widespread debate and criticism, with many arguing that the punishments were too lenient. The case led to changes in how the Catholic Church approaches alleged possessions and exorcisms, with a greater emphasis on seeking medical and psychological help before resorting to religious rituals. The Michel family's tragedy has had a lasting impact on the conversation around mental health, religion, and the importance of seeking help when needed. In reality, Anneliese's case was likely a complex mix of medical and psychological factors, rather than demonic possession. The misattribution of her symptoms to possession led to a tragic failure to provide appropriate medical care, ultimately resulting in her death. And so, we reach the end of our journey into the tragic tale of Anneliese Michel. A story that serves as a haunting reminder of the dangers of blind faith, medical neglect, and the devastating consequences of fear and ignorance. Anneliese's life was cut short by the very people who were supposed to help her. A stark reminder that the horrors we fear are often closer than we think. As we venture beyond the horizon, we're left with more questions than answers. What lies in the shadows of our own beliefs and fears? What secrets do we keep from ourselves and others? Join us next time on Beyond the Horizon, as we explore more mysteries, more horrors, and more truths that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content beyond the horizon.